Hi guys, Dr. Davis here for our Dr. Davis Explains It All video. And today we're going to be discussing what is communication competence. And so I think it's really important for us to discuss what communication competence is because without being able to engage in communication with others in a way that's both effective and appropriate in the situation or the event that we're experiencing, a lot of times we can experience miscommunications. We can offend others based on our own cultural backgrounds that we're drawing from. So a lot of times being a competent communicator is not just presenting your ideas in a way that you feel they're being understood, but instead it's having the knowledge of the entire situation and operating in a way that's both effective and appropriate for that given situation. Now, you might be saying, what in the world am I talking about? Well, the thing is, when we communicate with others, we primarily draw from our own backgrounds on communication. So what we've operated in our entire lives, the way we've communicated with others, things that's worked for us personally is how we see communication being effective. Well, that isn't always the case. There's going to be certain situations in which you run into in life, and this happens often. And a lot of times it's even within our own cultures. We experience situations in which our communication competence isn't as advanced as we thought it would be, and we really should have gained more knowledge of the situation or thought about things differently to engage in communication in a way that was both effective and appropriate in that situation. So not just thought about communication from our perspective, but from others' perspectives as well. Now, with that being said, and without further ado, I'd like to give you a short video clip from a movie that I love, and it's called The Joy Luck Club. And it really is a great example for how communication kind of goes awry. It's it's a gentleman here who's visiting a girlfriend's family for the first time, and he thinks he's just being really polite because he's operating in his own style of communication, and he's not considering the fact that these individuals communicate a little bit differently from him. So let's take a look at it real quick.
The next week, I brought Rich to Mom's birthday dinner, sort of a surprise present. I figured she was going to have to accept Rich, like it or not. Oh, Rich, this is my father.
How you doing?
Happy birthday,
How are you?
Mom.
I'm good, I'm good.
And Ma, this is Rich.
Great to meet you. Boy, something smells wonderful. I guess we came to the right place, huh? Here you are. You know, Waverly has been telling me that you are the best cook.
I think maybe we got her.
So many spots on his face.
Of course, the night was still young. Thank God I already prepped him on the Emily Post of Chinese manners.
我敬你一杯酒。
Actually, there were a few things I forgot to mention.
Let me make a toast.
He shouldn't have had that second glass when everyone else had had only half an inch just for taste.
Shrimp. My favorite.
He should have taken only a small spoonful of the best dish until everyone had had a helping.
He has good appetite.
He shouldn't have bragged he was a fast learner. But the worst was when Rich criticized my mother's cooking, and he didn't even know what he had done. As is the Chinese cook's custom, my mother always insults her own cooking, but only with the dishes she serves with special pride.
This dish not salty enough. No flavor. It's too bad to eat. But please.
Oh,
That was our cue to eat some and proclaim it the best she'd ever made.
you know, Linda, all this needs is a little soy sauce.
All right, so let's discuss that short situation there. This is something that any of us can experience in life, and I know it's kind of a bit broad because it is a movie scene, but this is the easiest way for me to show you how, we all experience these things. We all do things within our own communication context that we think are appropriate or correct, and a lot of times they just miss the mark. So regardless of the field that you are to enter upon graduation, or even what program you're enrolled in today, just learning about human communication isn't going to tell you how to use these skills in a competent manner in everyday life, although it doesn't hurt to learn about it. But to learn how to engage others in a competent manner, we have to understand communication competence, or how to engage in communication with others in a way that's both effective and appropriate within that situation or that event. But how do we do this? Well, learning to be a competent communicator means learning the rules. It means applying the knowledge in actual real life situations, which is why I gave you the example here so you could actually see how that might happen in real life. It means developing a sensitivity and honing in on our desire of excellence to become competent communicators, and also examining and applying the ethical rules to communication situations. So, in a nutshell, to be a competent communicator, we must be able to recognize which skills are vital in a specific situation, be in possession of those skills, which we learn throughout our educations, and be motivated to put those skills to work. So, how do we learn how to do this? Well, we learn through not only learning about communication competence, which we're doing in this course, but also increasing um, how to increase our level of competence to continue to work on those skills and continue to learn how to be knowledgeable, learn how to have the skills that we need, learn how to be sensitive in these situations, how to make a commitment to really work towards not just communicating from our own standpoint, but being a competent competent communicator in that particular situation, and also learning the ethics there. So had he have learned a little bit more about the culture in that situation, or how those individuals in that particular family, culture aside, communicated, then he probably would have been a lot more successful. Theories and definitions are nothing if we don't learn how to apply them through our course assignments. So, can you think of a personal or a hypothetical example in which you have experienced something similar to this situation? I know I definitely can. So, with that being said, we all can relate to this in some manner, and it's up to us to learn how to become more competent communicators so that we are effectively relaying our message, but we're doing it so in a way that is engaging others and not creating miscommunications, and it's appropriate given the situation. All right, so let's work to build our communication competencies together. I love this quote here. It basically says, "We build our futures together in the words we exchange today." And I wouldn't even just limit it to the words and actions that we exchange today. So with that being said, let's make a commitment together to be a more competent communicator by learning the skills that we're discussing in this lesson. Thanks so much, guys, and I hope you enjoyed Dr. Davis Explains It All. Enjoy your week.